clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here. One of the most socially accepted drugs that exist in most Western societies is alcohol. And when I was young, I would see adults in my family, my parents, drinking like it was nothing. It's just what they did on an evening. It's what they did on a weekend. And if they were stressed, they would drink. And if they were celebrating, they would drink. Alcohol was always ever present. And because of that, it's in society, it's all around us, it's very socially acceptable. We start to forget that it is a drug, and it's a drug that can have addictive qualities, that some people can become dependent, and they use it as a form of self-medication. And because of that, there's a lot of people that have difficult relationships with alcohol. I myself chose about nearly 8 years ago not to drink anymore, and it really came from this idea of all the very worst things and the biggest risks in my life were somehow connected with alcohol. And I asked myself the question, if at the age of 40, knowing everything that I now know, would I start drinking alcohol if I never started? What would the answer be? And the answer was a clear no for me. So that's one of the main reasons that I stopped drinking alcohol in that particular moment. And that was nearly 8 years ago. But not everyone wants to not drink at all. I think most people that drink, they just want a better relationship with alcohol, ease out the extremes and have more moderation. And this hypnosis session is designed to really tap into the essence of reducing consumption by boundaries and discernment and resource states, so that you get to kind of have the kind of relationship with alcohol that you actually want, not that is just an echo of previous habits and behaviors and beliefs from the past. It was created for an individual. Their situation is probably not your exact situation. So if you like the idea of changing your relationship with alcohol, and this doesn't quite fit perfectly, I would encourage you to look in the show notes, take a suitability test, or watch the webinar that I have there, and that will give you an idea as to whether or not hypnotherapy could be useful for you. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be distracted or disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, allow yourself to position your body in a way where relaxation is inevitable. You feel comfortable and relaxed. That's it. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation, and releasing any feelings of tension, stress, and worries. Just allowing it to leave your body every outward breath. And when you breathe in, set the intention to breathe in slightly deeper than before. And as you exhale, notice what happens when you elongate the outward breath. Just a second or two longer in the outward breath. And perhaps you notice that the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. Almost like there's a switch from alertness to calmness, from logic to emotion, to analysis to interpretation. And do a quick scan of your body, scanning for any heaviness tension. Scan your breathing rate. Are you breathing from the chest or the diaphragm? Is your jaw tense or relaxed? And set the intention that whenever you find tension, rigidity, to release it in every outward breath, meaning that each breath takes you incrementally to a new level of relaxation, which enhances that neural plasticity, which means thoughts can become ideas, ideas can become intentions, and intentions can become new realities. As you breathe in and breathe out, just imagine thinking of your life. Think of your life in blocks of 10. And think of the period of your life when alcohol started, up to the present, with a scientific, analytical perspective. In terms of what did it give and what did it take? And maybe you can find the 10 years where alcohol was giving more than it was taking. And maybe that was your 20s, or maybe a different period. But I want you to notice that as time got closer to the present, alcohol started taking more than it was giving. What once was a good decision became less beneficial as time went on. And some people don't update their behaviors and beliefs. There were things that you did when you were a child that made sense when you were a child. But when you were a teenager, you made a quick reevaluation. There may have been a time when you were listening to certain music, playing with certain toys, and you made a rapid evaluation. I don't want to do that anymore. And as you think back to that change, notice how effortless it was. No drama, no struggle. You simply made an evaluation that something you used to do didn't fit with who you were when you made that new decision. And what may have been useful, beneficial, even fun in your 20s may not be useful, fun, or beneficial right now. And when you start looking at your life from this new perspective, ask yourself the question that if you had never drunk at all, would you start drinking now? If you'd already figured out how to have fun in social situations, how to deal with intense emotions, how to find the right things to complement a good meal, would you now at this age introduce alcohol when you've already figured out how to live life without it? Allow your intuition to answer that question for you. No need to force it. Your unconscious already knows. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. The more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. And as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And as your breathing deepens, I wonder if you can imagine a version of you, not a fantasy, not a fake, but a real version. A version of you that perhaps already exists in a parallel path of your life. A version of you who simply doesn't drink alcohol. And not because they're resisting, and not because they're deprived, but because they no longer need to, and they no longer want to. This is a version of you where not drinking isn't a sacrifice. It's not a struggle. It's an empowered, discerning enhancement to their life. And as you observe this version of you, notice how they move, how they think, how they carry themselves. There's something different, perhaps a quiet certainty, a confidence, a clarity, a presence. Because for them, alcohol is no longer associated with confidence and fun. They are confident without it. It's not something they switch on after a few drinks. They simply are confident. And you may notice that in social situations, they're not scanning the room, they're not managing impressions, they're simply present, grounded, comfortable. Comfortable in their own skin because they are authentic. No need to try and fit in, no need to seek approval. And maybe you can connect with what feels like truth. That nothing has been taken away from them, but many things have been upgraded or enhanced. Maybe their energy is cleaner, their thinking sharper, their decisions more decisive. Their body feels lighter, and maybe their sleep is deeper. And maybe when challenges and problems arise, they meet it differently. And as you observe that different version of you, what if there's something surprising? That they still enjoy everything they used to enjoy, but more. Because now there's no dulling, no compromise, no second guessing. And the important thing is that there is no struggle in this version of you. They're not someone who is trying not to drink. Not someone using self-control and discipline. They are someone who simply doesn't connect or identify with drinking alcohol anymore. That version of them doesn't want it. Because if at the identity level, that version doesn't need it, doesn't want it, and life is better without it, there is no resistance, there is no struggle, there is no feeling of missing out. When identity shifts, behavior follows effortlessly. And what if that old idea that alcohol created confidence or connection or relaxation or enjoyment was never actually true? It was just something that happened at the same time. I want you to get a sense that there is a difference between causality and similarity. Maybe you did link the two. Back then in your 20s, you were having fun and alcohol was involved, and you added 1 + 1 and came up with 3. Alcohol is fun. Alcohol creates fun. But what if it was the people, the places, the situations, the conversations that led to fun and connection and not the alcohol? So allow that link to dissolve. Any false equivalences, any cognitive dissonance just melts away like ice in heat, and something stronger replaces it. You are the source of how you feel. Not a drink, but you. And you can make choices about what to do, where to be, who to connect with. All of that is empowered, is discerning, is enhancing. If life without alcohol gets better, you don't need struggle not to drink it. And I want you to get close to that version of you, the version of you that doesn't drink, doesn't want to, doesn't need to, and life is better. And just imagine stepping into that version of you. No longer watching or observing them anymore, but becoming them. And leave the version behind, the version that wanted, needed to drink alcohol. Leave the old version and step into the new. Feel what they feel, think how they think, and stand how they stand. And notice how comfortable this feels. Like trying on new clothes or new shoes that just fit you perfectly. Not needing to adjust. They just fit you fine as they are. The ease, the lack of internal negotiation. No should I or shouldn't I. It's already decided at the level of identity. And imagine a situation where someone offers a drink, gets bottles of wine for a table of a group meal, and notice there's no tension, no pressure, just a calm, neutral clarity. A vegan that is a vegan at the identity level doesn't need willpower not to eat meat. And someone that doesn't drink at the identity level doesn't need willpower or discipline or self-control not to drink. Feel what it would feel like when it's something you simply no longer do, no longer want, and no longer need. You're not losing anything, you're gaining something far more valuable. Maybe it's more self-respect, more clarity, more freedom, more energy, better health. You may even notice a quiet sense of pride. Not righteous, not performative. A sense of you're proud of this choice. It fits where you are now. You're no longer outsourcing how you feel. You're generating it from within. It's not about a future where you lose alcohol. It's a future where you gain more of yourself, more resources, more options, more choices. Imagine what you would be drinking instead. Maybe it's a particular brand of sparkling water. Imagine hearing the bubbles, the sound of it pouring into a glass. Connect with the feeling that this is better. You would rather have that sparkling water than anything else. So really connect with this version of you, a version that is clear-minded and energized, aligned, connected and free. Imagine what it would be like this for a week, and then a month. No need to make big announcements, you just act in accordance with this new identity. Someone offers you a drink, you have a reason why not. No need for debate, no need for justification. This is what you do because this is who you are. As days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, I want you to imagine one day in the future where it feels strange to even think that alcohol was ever a part of your life, or that there was a time that you did want it or need it. Because this version of you truly doesn't want it, truly doesn't need it. And you can see that other people do want it, maybe do need it. It's just that you don't. So connect with that feeling of liberation. That the liberation you experience in the future starts with a simple decision now. Do you remain in this new version of you? Or do you choose to step back into the old version of you? And when your unconscious is ready to make that choice, to connect with the version of you that does not want alcohol, does not need it, and life is better without it, then lock that identity in. And you could drink if you want to, but you don't want to. And you could always go back to that old identity whenever you choose. But that would require a new decision to choose it. Allow the integration and recalibration to take place. Thinking about key moments in the future and how they will be different. Social situations, workplace gatherings. See the new version of you in those future moments where your experience is enhanced because of this new identity. It's time to return to the present, taking all of these changes with you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Connect and calibrate into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, confident and connected to this new version of you. It just seems to fit. Starting to count 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.